Who do I want to win the election? He. Who do I want to be the leading man in my life? He. Who do we stan? He. Introducing the man of the hour. So freaking soothing, isn't it? I watched that on loop all weekend. His pronouns are he, dang it! I can't believe it's coming down to this, but I am defending Anne Hathaway after people ripped her for playing a villain that has deformities. Andy Cohen's getting slammed for trying to forgive a fellow leftist who wasn't PC enough. Netflix is going after people who criticize cuties, and this Selling Sunset star bought a tiger for self-defense. It's a jungle out there, folks. I'm AlexClark, and this is POPlitics. Anne Hathaway is one of my least favorite celebrities ever, as most of you know. But when I see something unbelievably unfair, I have to say something. Her evil character in HBO Max's The Witches was featured having a split crab-like hand with just 3 fingers. Oh, that wasn't good. Okay, forget that, but I can't do it, but it looks like a crab, and it's offended a bunch of people, and now Anne's apologizing and says she promises to do better.
Who's gonna stop me?
Apparently, playing a villain with any deformities is a new woke rule that appeared overnight from the left. The movie was released last month and has since been called out by critics and disability advocates for the film's demonizing depiction of split hands.
You are a sheep, and the pigs bear nothing. This morning, I'm having my breakfast, and I'm looking out the window at the beach, and what am I seeing? I'm seeing dozens, I'm seeing hundreds, I'm seeing hundreds of repulsive little brats playing in the sand, and it's putting me right off my bed!
Anne said, "Let me begin by saying I do my best to be sensitive to the feelings and experiences of others, not out of some scrambling politically correct fear, but because not hurting others seems like a basic level of decency we should all be striving for." She continued, "As someone who really believes in inclusivity and really detests cruelty, I owe you all an apology for the pain I caused. I'm sorry. I did not connect limb difference with the Grand High Witch when the look of her character was brought to me. If I had, I assure you this never would have happened."
You're joking. Not another one? Oh, for God's sake.
I'm totally struggling here, trying to figure out if this was actually insensitive or not. Shouldn't people with limb differences be portrayed in every type of movie role, including heroes and villains? Anne Hathaway was a villain, but what about Nemo or Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump, to name a few?
Wake up! Come on, who's this?
All hands on deck. Was this offensive or not? Sorry, I had to.
All hands on deck.
Anne isn't the only one to disappoint the gatekeepers and rule enforcers of the left. Andy Cohen is getting criticism because he dared to forgive another leftist for using the wrong label of someone.
How dare you? She's a nice lady!
52-year-old former Senator Claire McCaskill accidentally used the word transsexual instead of transgender during an interview last week. And Andy Cohen came to her defense and told her, "You misspoke, don't think twice about it." The Gestapo of the left says, though, even though Andy is a part of the LGBT community, he isn't trans, so he isn't allowed to forgive her.
I didn't get permission for this.
One person wrote, "The cis guy who makes millions interviewing reality stars told Claire McCaskill she doesn't need to worry being an anti-trans bigot, so I guess we're good."
Did you forget to take your Xanax this morning?
Why do you think forgiveness and accountability are mutually exclusive? Why is it so foreign for leftists to be able to accept an apology and move on? What do they get from obsessing over resentment?
I love my grudges. I tend to them like little pets. All right, I'm just saying.
A New York Post article by Glenn Reynolds titled, "The Left is Showing Again That It Can't Stand Anyone Who Disagrees," answered this question beautifully. He said, moral superiority is an addictive drug, and perhaps the most unfortunate legacy of the civil rights era is that it got people on the left dependent on moral superiority for their self-esteem. But once you become dependent on moral superiority, you need moral inferiors. Thus, every issue must become one of great moral urgency, in which the people who disagree with you are not simply wrong, but actually evil.
We both live here. We have to deal with each other.
So how do we move past this and make it go away? I don't think we can make it go away, but we can respond differently to the mob. Instead of constantly being on the defensive and begging for forgiveness, let it roll off your back and don't let them scare or control you into silence. Brave season never stops.
I'm gonna go do my thing. Nothing's gonna bother me. Nothing's gonna stop me.
Buckle up for this one. Netflix has been issuing copyright takedown requests for people who tweeted anything negative about their controversial kid twerking film Cuties.
1 for the party, 2 for the shawty, 3 for the shake ya, bum, bum, bum.
They're finding tweets that include clips from the show where the poster is criticizing the movie and demanding Twitter take it down for copyright infringement. The weird thing is that Netflix is only doing this with negative tweets about the movie, not the ones that include clips in a positive light. And almost all of the users being targeted only posted the trailer, so what's the problem? Sounds like revisionist history. If people can't see that Cuties was ever controversial, was it? All right, where the criminal law CUTEservatives at? Bad girls, and boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when CUTEservatives come for you? Several of you have sent me this really interesting story out of California and wanted to know what the pro-life perspective on it was, especially after I did that 10 pro-life answers to pro-choice questions episode last week. And thank you guys so much for watching that and sharing that. I know that you all loved it. It did insanely well for us. So the story is that the Attorney General in California decided to drop murder charges on a 26-year-old woman who gave birth to a stillborn. Medical professionals actually found out that there was toxic levels of meth in the baby's system. And at first the mom was charged with murder, but then a few days ago those charges were dropped after the court said, our laws in California do not convict women who suffer the loss of their pregnancy. And in our filing today, we are making clear that this law has been misused to the detriment of women, children, and families. We will work to end the prosecution and imprisonment of Miss Becker, that's the mom, so that we can focus on applying this law to those who put the lives of pregnant women in danger.
I didn't see that coming.
A lot of people wanted to know, as a pro-life person, do I think that she should be charged with murder because she took drugs that ultimately killed her baby while she was pregnant? And after looking into this case, I'm leaning towards no. There's a legal term called mens rea that has to do with criminal intent and where the person's mind was when they actually committed a crime. If this woman took the meth to kill her baby, she should be charged with murder. If her intentions were just to get high and then the baby dying happened to be a tragic side effect, which I think is what happened here, then no, I don't think that she should be charged with murder. All right, put your legal hats on and debate in the comments. Tell me what you think about this case. Even though it is cold outside, we're bringing the heat. Actually, guys, it's cold in Phoenix today.
Hot Take Tuesday.
The only good news I've heard in days, Universal is developing a Twister reboot with the Top Gun Maverick director. The original 90s movie was so good because of how innovative the sound design was. It literally felt like you were there experiencing the tornado. The reboot, after all these years, can only get better, I hope. I would die if they released a 4D version of this in special IMAX theaters where they rock your seat and spray you with water and slap you around. Jonas. He's in it for the money, not the twisters.
It's coming! It's headed right for us! It's already here.
Christine Quinn on Selling Sunset is so worried about her safety that she bought tigers to be her security guards. Okay, Tiger Queen.
It's a tiger. Look out.
I don't know about you, but I'd rather have a self-defense tool that I can actually carry with me at all times. She gonna put Mr. Tiger in her pocket at Target?
silly.
They'll lure you in, okay, and they'll be really, really lovable until they can get you. And it's a game to them.
Lastly, I watched Emma Roberts' rom-com Holiday on Netflix. 2 out of 5 stars. It was okay, bearable. Good if you have absolutely nothing else to watch and you love Emma Roberts as much as I do. Not the best, but also not the worst.
Isn't it great? Here's my holiday.
What?
A date solely for the holiday. No commitment.
That's what I need for New Year's Eve. We can be each other's holiday.
Come on, friends with benefits never works.
So let's make it official. Non-sexual holidays from now on.
This is great.
If you are hoping for more election updates from me, I'm sorry, but on POPlitics, I can't give my thoughts on candidates or outcomes of any elections because it could threaten our status as a nonprofit. So please make sure you're following me on my personal stuff at RealAlexClark on Instagram and YoAlexRaps on Twitter for all the conservatives. Now more than ever, we need your support as conservative content makers and commentators. Please help support POPlitics. All you have to do is open up your Apple Podcast app, search for POPlitics on there, hit subscribe, and leave us a 5-star review. You have no idea how much of a difference that makes, and if it's been a while since you've done it, you can do another one. Double tap this episode, tell me in the comments what you think about villains having limb abnormalities, and if it's offensive, plus your thoughts on that pregnant woman from Cali. And share this episode with 3 friends right now who you know are looking for more conservative shows and pages to follow. We're back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. It's pop culture without the propaganda every single day. I'm AlexClark, and this is POPlitics. Click below to watch yesterday's episode. Please subscribe, thumbs up, share this video, and ring the bell for notifications so you never miss the conservative. And make sure you're following this show at POPlitics on Instagram for even more CUTEservative content.